look at the names. We're basically the same person. So, since you clicked on this video, that means that you want to know about the new hero Suyu, right? You want to know what might be the perfect emblem, the perfect build, and the perfect playstyle for this hero. Then worry not, my friend. Today I'll tell you everything you need to know about the new hero Suyu, which will help you dominate your rank or classic matches. Now without further ado, let's talk about his skills, starting from his passive Transient Immortal. It allows you to cycle between two forms based on how long you hold a skill. If you tap a skill, it will change you to mortal form, where he gets 40 movement speed and you can attack the enemy fast using your basic attacks compared to your immortal form. If you hold any skill, it will change you to immortal form, where he increases his damage on the basic attacks and also helps you gain damage reduction based on the extra physical attack, that is from items and emblems. So basically, mortal form makes you nimble and immortal form makes you look cool, hit like a truck and be tanky AF. So why are we going to mortal form again? Now let's talk about his first skill, Blade Surge. If you tap this skill, Suyu throws his weapon dealing damage to the target direction, then dashes again to catch it, then does another round of damage by slashing once again. If you hold this skill, Suyu charges towards the target location dealing damage and also stuns the enemy at the end of skill. This skill is your main source of engage and disengage, so you have to be careful when to go in during the team fights. His second skill, Soul Seaver, is the main source of damage. If you tap this skill, it will deal damage based on the lost HP in a fan-shaped area, making it perfect for executing those low HP heroes, which you can see in the video. As the HP of the enemy decreases, the damage of the skill increases as well. If you hold this skill, Suyu will deal 3 strikes in a fan-shaped area and heals himself based on the extra physical attack. So more attack item equals more heal and more damage. It is your main source of damage and sustain during teamfight, so make sure to hit the enemies with this skill. Now finally, let's talk about his skill 3, Evil Queller. If you tap this skill, Suyu glides backwards dealing damage to the enemies in front and behind him, and also this skill slows enemies for 1.5 seconds, which you can see in the screen, the decrease in movement speed of the dummy. His hold version of this skill is a never seen before, a very new and fresh skill where he charges his bow in a direction and shoots an arrow dealing damage to the enemies along a straight line. This skill can be used to poke enemies or can be used to kill those retreating enemies as well. And now let's talk about combos which you can use to deal some heavy damage to your enemies. Let's start from its combo number 1, the Kill Stealer. It is good for securing those kills on deadly low HP enemies which your team would not have secured if you were in there. The Leroy Jenkins. It is good if you are fed up with your initiator not initiating teamfight, but you still want to go in and bait your whole team. The Hit and Run. This combo is effective when you want to catch the enemy off guard with your speed and perfect for killing those squishy enemies at the late game if they're out of position. These are only some of the combos of Suyu. You can have a lot of combos, and since you know how his skill works now, you can make up your own wacky combos. There are many ways to build Suyu, but in this video I'm gonna focus on 2 builds, the damage build and the sustain build. Starting from damage build, this build focuses on bursting down those squishy members of the enemy. It starts from boots of your choice, Hunter Strike for that extra movement speed and penetration, War Axe for that spell vamp and damage, BOD for more damage and more sustainability, Sky Piercer for that kill securing capability, and finally your choice of item for that last spot. It can be either Malefic if there are many tanky enemies, or maybe another BOD if there are more squishy enemies, or if you are ahead, or maybe Immortality if you want that extra layer of protection. Another build, the sustain build, is I feel more suited for an EXP lane Suyu. It starts from boots of your choice, War Axe first item for spell vamp and damage, then Queen Swing for damage reduction, Endless Battle for cooldown reduction, and Hybrid Lifesteal defense item like Dominance or Athena's based on the situation. And finally, same as above, the last slot is your choice. It is a flex slot where you can build any item based on your preference and situation. For emblems, you can go either fighter or assassin emblem with these talents. For tier 1, you can go thrill for that attack or agility for movement speed and faster rotation. For tier 2, you can go with Festival of Blood for spell vamp or season hunter for faster jungle clear. For tier 3, I think you have to go with lethal ignition. It works really well with its skill kits. Just note that Fighter Emblem gives you more spell vamp and sustainability, whilst Assassin Emblem gives you movement speed to rotate fast and penetration for those all your damages. And now I'm gonna tell you some tips that will help you improve your Suyu gameplay even more. So, tip number 1. If you want to increase the range of your stun from your first skill, you can use your flicker to increase it. Tip number 2. You have a very good early game damage, so feel free to trade some blows, especially if you are an EXP laner. Your heal and damage from your second skill is very good, so feel free to trade some blows wisely in those early games. Tip number 3. Your skill 1 is your main source of dash, so use it wisely. Don't initiate a teamfight with skill 1 unless you are sure that you can win. Well, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video and hope that you now completely understand Suyu. I'll bring more content for you guys like this and many more in the near future. But for now, I'll take my leave and I'll see you guys in the next video.
Story!